It was the 24th of September, 1966. AFL or VFL back then, grand final day. Barry Broom picks up the ball in the half-forward flank and he kicks a mongrel punt and it's going for a goal, point, point. One behind, but known as a point if you're not from Victoria. The mighty Saints won the grand final and beat Collingwood. Come on, Saints supporters, yay! We need more Victorians in here, or more St Kilda supporters anyway. My parents are avid Saints supporters. They love the Saints. And that was our one and only grand final. And still is, unfortunately. It was 9 months after that day, on the 24th of June, 1967. Don't know what I'm going to say yet. I was born. I was either an oops baby or an AFL Grand Final celebration baby. I'd like to think the latter. Because of this, clearly schooling wasn't a priority for me. So year 11 were the best 2 years of my life. And that was it. That was the end of my education in regards to school. Although I went on and did some further education. So I don't tell you this to impress you. I tell you this to impress upon you. It's irrelevant what your background is. It's irrelevant what your upbringing is. It's irrelevant what your education is. It's irrelevant what your ethnicity is. It's irrelevant what your street smarts are. What we do here is a learnt skill. That lovely man, Mr. Parker, I'll call him the lovely man now, pushed me harder than anybody else has ever pushed me. He made me do more hill sprints, more laps around the hockey field than anybody else, than any other kid. Because he saw something in me that I didn't. He saw a level of determination that I couldn't see. Who's seeing what you have inside you? Who's got your back? Who's your mentor that's seeing what's inside of you and bringing the best out in you? Or are you holding it within? Because every one of you in here has the ability to be on this stage and many stages around the world. This is a learnt skill. Number one. And I'll show you my level of dedication. Well, some people have seen my level of dedication who were here last year at the Stackers. I believe in you should always be learning, always be learning, always be learning, always upgrading, always working on this skill. If you want to be the best you can be at this game, at being a professional speaker, every single day you must put in the yards. Not every now and again when you've got a presentation, not every now and again when you've been booked for a presentation or a talk. Every single day. So I live and breathe this. It's called the Kaizen principle. But this is what I do every single day. I'm at the gym and I have my headphones in and I listen and I learn. I listen and I learn from my mentors. I go into such detail. I go into the history, the science, the biology and the psychology to make sure that I am the best that I can be. I don't just look at how I can structure a presentation. I want to connect with you. I want to connect on a level that you can't imagine. The second lesson that I learnt. It's not about you. It's not about you. And this would be one of the most valuable lesson that I've ever learnt. It was all about me and I didn't give a damn about my audience. Until I caught up with Sam Cawthorn. Some of you may know him. Sam just looked at me and he said, Warren, there's one thing that's holding you back. There's one thing, and until you do this, you're going to stay where you are. You are not going to go anywhere, and you'll stay put. You just won't go anywhere. Oh, this is great. Thanks, Sam. Thanks for the confidence. And this was the volume he said that. Until you understand this one thing, Warren, you are not going anywhere. It's not about you. It's never about you. But that was the turning point in my career. That was the turning point. If I can help people in my audience. And then they go on and help others. And the multiplying effect from that was the realization that, wow, how powerful this is. I realized that if I help one person in an audience and they go on and help 1,000 people, my job is done. But just do the multiplying effect on that. Every single one of you can do that. Every single one of you can do that. But just focus on your audience. It reminds me of a PBC that we did, a Premier Boot Camp in Sydney. And there was a big fella. I wish I could remember his name. Somebody in the audience may remember. He was a lighthouse keeper. He was about 6'4" and 4 foot wide. And he was sort of a country kid. He said, yeah, well, I can't do this, Warren. This was Saturday afternoon. I can't do this. I'm not true to my message. I'm just not getting it across. It's not who I am. Nobody wants to hear my message. I said, well, why are you here? He said, well, this product that I'm working on, what I'm delivering and what I want to talk about changed my life. I said, how did it change your life? He said, well, my mortgage was up to here. My kids couldn't get clothes for them. The arse was falling out the back of my pants. Until I discovered this product. And it's turned my world around. It's changed my life. It's changed my children's life. It's saved my marriage. It's saved my house. It's saved me. I said, well, stop focusing on you. Look at your audience. And if somebody who's just like you in your audience, imagine saving their life, saving their kids, saving their house, saving where they are today, transforming them from where they are to where they want to be. That one person could be in the audience today and you don't know that. Don't be so selfish. He got up on that stage on Sunday, nailed it, had everybody in tears and a standing ovation. It's not about you. The last one is emotion. We are in the business of emotion. To be vulnerable, to share your stories and not be afraid. So why are we waiting? Why are we holding back? Why are we not sharing our message? This photo was taken 15 years ago at this resort, at SeaWorld. It was the last photo that he would have with my children. What we didn't know at this point was my dad had cancer. He taught me many things. He taught me to be vulnerable and that he did really love me, although love comes in different types of packages sometimes. A wooden spoon on the arse I didn't think was love. He also taught me when you get a job, you do your best and you work your hardest and you do everything possible to be successful. Everything possible. And he also taught me to give back. The Cheltenham Swimming Club down in Melbourne would not be in existence today if it wasn't for my mum and dad and their involvement and their charity work which they did to keep that club alive. And then they transferred that up to the Gold Coast here with being part of the Benora Point Residents Association. And their selfless, tireless charity and community work that they would always give back. And it took me some time to realize this with my father, and I knew that I had an opportunity here when he was passing. Because I saw it as a great opportunity because I could have this conversation with him, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to tell him because I even had trouble talking about it on stage. So I wrote it in a letter. And I reread that letter last night. And I remember walking into the hospital and there was Dad. Window here looking out over the Gold Coast at the Gold Coast Hospital. And here he was, yellow eyes, in a bad state. I just walked around and gave it to him. We shared a beautiful moment when he read it. And the most beautiful part was when Mum came in and he said, "This is from Woz, you're not to touch it until I pass." So this journey has taken me a long way. From the lessons that I've learned in learning how to speak on stage to the lessons my father taught me to be a great dad. But we have been given a gift. The gift of communication. The gift to be able to share our messages. the gift to make a difference. So stop playing small. Live your vision, because communication really can change your destination. Thank you.
Thank you, Warren. We have another round of applause for Mr. Warren Tate.